Today on Earth's greatest animals, we're going to talk about the subphylum of crustaceans. Crustaceans consist of 60,000 known species, but scientists suspect that's only 10% of the actual number of species in the world. Crustaceans can be divided into two sections, copepods and decapods, such as lobsters and crabs. Crustaceans can range in size from the Stygotantalus stocky, which is 1/10 of a millimeter, to the Japanese spider crab, which is over 3 meters. There are even parasitic crustaceans, such as the Cymothoa exigua, or the tongue-eating louse, which eats a fish's tongue, then replaces the tongue with itself. Crustaceans date back to over 500 million years ago, with a Canada spiss, otherwise known as the shield of Canada, which was first found in Canada. Crustaceans are also a great source of food and income to many fishermen around the world. All crustaceans are bilaterally symmetrical, as they can be divided into two equal parts. Generally, crustaceans follow the same structure, with the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. They move around through segmented pieces of their body, which serve as legs. Most crustaceans molt as they grow, which is when they shed their exoskeleton and generate a new one. Their exoskeleton is made up of chitin, and is separated into plates to allow flexibility. Crustaceans are also able to regenerate limbs in case they lose one. Crustaceans don't have any specific brain, but they have two main nerves that control their whole body. The first nerve is located near the antenna, and the second nerve is located at the bottom of the thorax. They all have complete digestive systems that include the foregut, the midgut, and the hindgut. Crustaceans can either breathe through their skin or their gills. The circulatory system consists of a heart that pumps blood throughout their body. The diet consists of dead or decaying plants and animals that they swallow due to a lack of teeth. The food later goes through a stomach, where it is digested by multiple enzymes, then it is excreted through the anus. Sex organs vary by species, but most crustaceans store their fertilized eggs along the inner part of their abdomen to serve as protection. There are also crustaceans that undergo a type of asexual reproduction called parthenogenesis, where an unfertilized egg can mature into larvae, which contains the exact same genetic makeup as the original. An example is a marbled crayfish. Crustacean eggs grow through a cycle, which they mature from larvae and into adults. The cycle looks like this. They start off as an egg, they mature into larvae, and then they turn out to be adults. Some crustaceans have even been known to change their actual sex. Their diet consists of pretty much anything that's available, from decaying plants and animals to fish and even others of the same species. It is more common that crustaceans are the prey instead of the predator. Most crustaceans are aquatic animals that live in almost every ocean in the world. They live in both freshwater and saltwater, as well as the depths of the ocean. There are a few crustaceans that live on land, such as a hermit crab. There are a variety of crustaceans that include lobsters, crab, shrimp, crayfish, barnacles, and even woodlice. Say hi to the Homarus americanus, otherwise known as the American lobster. The American lobster was first discovered in 1817 by Thomas Say. The American lobster has two claws that they use for cutting and damaging their prey. As you can see, her left claw is dominant because it is bigger, so she's a left-handed lobster. Typically, lobsters live in cold and shallow waters along the coast of the Atlantic Ocean, namely in Labrador and New Jersey, due to the abundance of small fish and mollusks in those areas. Lobsters can vary in color, as there have been bright red lobsters, yellow lobsters, and even blue lobsters. But there's of course a 1 in 18 million chance of catching one. Usually, lobsters look like so when they're caught. The heaviest crustacean in the world weighed around 20 kilograms, but on average they weigh 4 kilograms, such as her. Also, the longest crustacean in the world was a lobster, but on average they're 9 inches in length. Lobsters follow the same body format as any other crustacean. They have the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. They also have this, the telson, which is used for swimming. And curled up inside this abdomen is the swimmerets, otherwise known as swimming feet. So when it flaps its telson, the swimming feet also are used for swimming. It has these legs, which they use for walking whenever they're on ground. As I said, they have two primary claws. They have antennas, which they use for sensing, and two compound eyes for sight, although they actually use urine to detect if there are any animals nearby. And you can see they don't have any teeth, so they eat animals by swallowing them up. So that is the Homerus americanus, otherwise known as the American lobster.
Now we're going to talk about one of my favorite foods, the Penaeus monodon, otherwise known as the Asian tiger shrimp. The Penaeus monodon was first discovered by Johann Christian Fabricius in 1798. It is widely used as nutrition and income to those people living in Eastern Asia. It can be found from the coast of Africa all the way to the coast of Japan. It can also be found in the Gulf of Mexico, but as an invasive species, of course. On average, the Penaeus monodon is around 28 centimeters long and weighs about 270 grams. Its diet consists of plankton and any small animals nearby. Its anatomy, the shrimps have heads, thoraxes, abdomens, swimming legs, telsons, walking legs, compound eyes, and antennas. That sounds extremely familiar to, guess what, the lobster. They both have telsons, swimming feet, walking feet, antennas, lack of teeth, as well as compound eyes. Look at that. Just lobsters have primary claws, and shrimps, well, they just don't. Thank you for watching our episode of Earth's Greatest Animals. Come back next week to watch our episode on mammals.